We were having a conversation with a friend earlier this week, and they were talking about really just having a shift in careers. Really, it was they were going down one path, and then life has unfolded in a completely different way, and they found a new passion, but they were finding themselves not wanting to let down the people in their life that that supported their original passion. And I was trying to explain, like, it's okay to change, and I realized that a lot of us are constantly looking for permission to change, and change is something that's so consistent and constant in life. It's okay to have this thing that you really wanted. So my dream used to be, like, for my entire adult life now has been, I want to be an author, and I want to publish a fiction novel, and I'm not sure that's what I want anymore, and that's okay. Like, it's completely okay. No one's gonna beat me up for it. And the only reason why that's changed is because I think I'm a little bit more clear on what I want moving forward, and it just may not include that. That doesn't mean that it was wrong for me to have wanted that all those years and then not go for it. It just means I've changed. It's completely fine.
What do you think drove you away from that path, or what do you see as one of your key motivators that
I think
deviates?
Just learning more about myself and what I actually want out of life, and my motivations for doing things. So again, wanting to author a novel, part of it was to prove that I could, right? To have accolades, for people to be proud. And I think one of the other motivators was I had quit dance, and I danced for not 20 years, but
close
somewhere
to it.
In there, yeah. But my mom commuted with me an hour and a half each way to dance lessons for 6 to 7 days a week, depending on the year. But most of the time it was 7 days a week. And I went to college. I had a partial scholarship. I danced through college. And then it was summer going into senior year, I just realized my passion had completely died for it. I mean, like, completely just, I could not be resuscitated. And I remember talking to a faculty member and saying, I don't have any passion for this anymore, and I'm going to be finished after I complete this degree, which is wonderful. Hey, so I have to get my degree in this, but I'm finished. It's a hard time to realize that you're finished with something when you're getting ready to get paperwork for it. And the faculty member said, like, oh, don't give up now. You don't want to quit. You don't want to disappoint everyone. And, you just need to push through it. And I told her I'd been pushing through for a long time. I didn't even realize how long I'd been pushing through it. And I told her, I said, I'm ready to be great at something. And I just didn't feel like dance was ever going to be that thing that I was going to be great at. I was good. I was plenty good, but I wasn't great. And I knew that I'm here to be great. Not in an ego way, but to be of service in any real way. You need to be passionate. You need to love the work that you do. And I think dance can be very healing and wonderful and great, but if somebody's doing it and they don't want to be doing it, why would you either want to watch them or take a class for them or experience any kind of healing from what they're giving you? So anyway, I found the courage to walk away from that, had an identity crisis, got back in touch with my love for reading, and then through reading I started writing, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love storytelling, and I still do. I still love storytelling. But where I really want to be in service is in the realm of wellness and spirituality, and I think that I know that that's where my work is. My work is truly there. And now, does that mean that I still might write something? Absolutely, I still could, but the goal isn't I want to write this book because I want to serve myself. It's how can I be of service to others? Oh, this is the way that I want to do it now, and I changed.
Yeah, and what happens too is we oftentimes will formulate our careers or our decisions that we make based on preconceived thoughts or conditioned thoughts and responses from friends, family, society, teachers.
Yeah.
past experience to continue to move you forward. And that's not always the case. And for me, I'm still in a space of really learning exactly who I am and what I'm supposed to be doing. And a lot of this book that we were reading for the book club talks about the ego. And I had been aware of the ego and its problems when you're not in control of it. But I didn't realize how much I was living life through the lens of an ego. So then I had to analyze all of my decisions, things that I was working towards. Was I working towards those things based on ego or based on responses from other people? Or was I working on those things because it's something I really wanted in my heart of hearts? And that's where reading that book has just really opened my eyes to understanding and being okay that it's just a journey, and accepting my youth and having a great partner like you who's accepting of that journey, and realizing that it doesn't look the same for everyone, and it's okay. and it's been an interesting space to be in, but I'm definitely excited about what that change is going to look like and feel like and taste like. And I think what I'm also learning is sometimes you got to keep that change to yourself.
Yes. Woo! That's a note.
And the reason I say that is there are some things I'm working on, and I don't even know if I've really told anyone except for Joy, honestly. And it's just like, because if I share that information, now I am susceptible to everyone else's fears and thoughts and opinions, and then that moves into my head, and now I'm like, okay, is this what I'm supposed to do? Is this where I'm at? And it's like, oh no. And then you start doubting yourself, and that could have been the very thing you're supposed to do, but you started opening yourself up to everyone's interpretation, and now you went away or you walked down a different path that you really didn't want to be on, but got pressured to move down the path. And that's a really a big thing I'm starting to learn.
That reminds me of the time I went to go get my hair cut. I remember I wanted to get my hair cut. I was like 18, 19 years old, and I went and told my mom, I'm going to cut off all my hair. And she told me, don't do that. And I said, no, but I want to. Like, it's time. I want to be a new woman. And so she said, why don't you go to the wig shop and try on some wigs and see what short hair looks like on you. And I told her, well, I have a small head. It's not going to look like how an actual short haircut is going to look. So I tried on wigs. I look crazy because it's like the straight hair, short wigs. And I'm like, this isn't what my hair is like. Like, you can't even see the scalp between whatever. So long story short, while we're there, my mom ends up buying me weave. And I had a hair appointment the next day, and I somehow left that appointment at 18, 19 years old with weave down my back.
And you wanted a short haircut.
And I wanted a short haircut. But I had shared what I wanted prematurely, because had I just gone and had her cut my hair, then it would be like, oh, look, by the way, this is what I decided to do. Instead of sharing it and ending up, and then not having the strength to stick with it, because it was premature and I didn't have the confidence that I thought I had behind it, I ended up with a weave down my back. And I just remember looking in the mirror, because I had an event to go to, being like, this isn't me. This isn't what I wanted.
And it took you 7 years to cut your hair?
Yeah, after that. Yes.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Imagine that.
And I would say cutting my hair is really what spurred me into this version of who I am. Like, wow. It really did. So I'm like, damn, I could have gotten here a lot sooner.
But it's like, isn't that crazy to think that something so small could have derailed or delayed your life for 7 years?
Yes.
Just that small act. And if you go back and, some of you may be in a position, and I can currently be in that same position, as going back and looking and saying, did I do things or have an inclination to do something but just didn't do it because, and how?
Yeah, I allowed myself, though. The difference is that I allowed myself to be influenced by others, whereas when I was old enough and more comfortable with where I was in life, I was like, no, this is what I'm going to do, and I did it. So, and I did it in steps. Remember, I did a bob first. I said, okay, because I knew myself well enough to know if I just, was bald-headed all of a sudden, I would panic. So I did a bob. And then I did a straight short haircut, and then I did the curly short haircut. And it just took me time. And then I liked the short curly hair, but then I didn't. And then I realized a lot of things about myself. I was like, oh, I'm actually not a super girly girl. And my hair added a little bit more femininity to me. But I really liked embracing that masculinity for that time. Oh my God, I just like felt unstoppable. I was like, yes. But through embracing the masculinity, I realized that the femininity was just as powerful, just as present, but not everyone could see it. It was just an amazing experience. And again, unless you've cut your hair, you don't understand. You just don't understand. I had to have cut my hair to understand all those things about myself and to understand how the world reacted to me. Because the other thing is, I hadn't changed that much, but people automatically thought I was a boss biatch, like, just intimidated by me, thought I had all my stuff together. That's probably the most unorganized I've ever been in my life at that point in time. But it was interesting to see how the world responded to me, and nothing had really changed. And I think that really helped me understand that the opinions of others doesn't really matter. Like, what matters is what I know to be true about myself and what I want out of my life.
And all that came from a haircut.
All that came from a haircut. Truly. All of it came from a haircut.
It's so wild to see, what can happen.
Yeah.
With small little actions every day and how that plays out. And now you're on a completely different journey. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've realized is in reading. Is the more I've read, the more I've changed. The more I've just gained more knowledge and have a broader presence and broader opinion or insight about the world. And now it's forcing me to go back and question some of my things. So now I'm on a new path that I'm working through. But I wouldn't have got there if I never started reading. So it was like, as you said about your haircut, I've been saying since I've known you, I got to read more, I got to read more, I got to read more.
Yeah, you have.
At 18 years old, I'm saying I got to read more, but I didn't really start reading until I was 26. Mm-hmm. So how much growth have I delayed by not picking up books?
Yeah.
Have no clue.
And these are simple things that we're discussing, but I mean, you probably have something in your life where you've been meaning to do it or wanting to do it, and you're waiting for permission from others to do it. Permission to go the other way, because you've been going this one way for so long, and you've had encouragement, and you don't want to let people down, and you want to change your mind, but you're like, hey, I need that same encouragement going this way, but you want them to anticipate it. You have to show people what you're doing and allow them to come to grips with it on their own. But you need to be confident in the direction that you are moving.